Okay, so this is the save the child process. So this is what happens when someone initiates a cancellation of their membership, but our goal is to save them. We must always remember that every child is worth £1,000 to Mini Kicks over the lifetime value that we can get from them, so long as we look after them properly and keep them going. It's perfectly natural that they might want to leave at certain points, or they're not happy with things, or the child says they don't want to come back. It's our job to help them to overcome that and to keep them to stay. And the easiest way to do that is to get the franchisee on board and get them actively doing it for us. So here we go. So although it's a very complicated looking process, you don't really need to know what's going on with this. You never need to even look into it. I've made it super simple for you, and all you ever have to do is look at the dashboard. The dashboard manages the whole process. I'm just going to give you insight into how the campaign runs, just so you know the internal workings of it and how that happens. So there's a few different ways, 3 different ways that someone could let us know that they want to cancel. Firstly, they could just cancel the direct debit. Secondly, they could send us an email. Or thirdly, they could just ring up on the phone. I've covered all of these eventualities in this process, so let me just take you through them now. So let's say you get an email coming in. The first thing really we should have is we should have these things on here. We should have the Infusionsoft panel in the side. What this means is that when anybody rings us, when anyone sends us an email, we can crack on with it straight away and we can put them into the process. Because you might get an email at 5 to 5 when you're going home saying, I want to cancel it. All you need to do is put them into the cancellation process, into the save the child process. You can then pick up with it tomorrow morning because you know it's been taken care of. So that's all you need to do. So let's say someone sends you, let me just find someone here. So someone sends you an email in. So I think Paul's in the system. So as soon as that email comes in, your Infusionsoft panel will update. All you need to do is to apply a tag to them. So we're going to add a tag. It's a goal tag that we're looking for, and it's a save the child one, an internal form, save the child, and it says press this next to their name here. In the procedures manual, I've highlighted that here. So it's 50, save the child process, cancellation request, press this. That's what the button is that we're now going to press to carry on with this process. So you could, if they've sent an email, you could press that button here, and that gets the process underway. Or you may have noticed that they've cancelled their direct debit, in which case you might do a search for that person. So let's search for them. So find a Scarlett Ashford here. And in which case you might just apply a tag to them straight away from this part here. Make sure they're not. That's cool. So let's say we're going to apply a tag. So if I just type in save, I can scroll down here to goals, save the child, cancellation request button, press this. So I'm going to apply it. So it doesn't matter which way you apply that tag. We just need to get them into this process straight away, because now, and I just refresh this, they're in here. So Scarlett's now been put into this process, so I know they're going to be caught. I know that we're going to start to manage them now. So let's just let this move through the system. And the only time you'll know what's happened here is the fact that the dashboard should update, and we're going to see a number in here that says call to save them. Because don't forget, we've not spoken to this person yet, so it's our job to call to save them. It just takes a few seconds for that tag to get applied. I'm just going to drink a bit of my coffee while that's happening. There we go, call to save them. So the only way you don't need to look at the campaign, you'll just know that this has happened. So all you'll do is you'll come in, you'll click that number, press this, it's got that there for you. You click on that and it will bring up the form for you to go and ring them. So you then contact that child, and I've put the first script in here for you. When anybody rings up and they're wanting the money back, they might be a bit funny with you, they might be a bit cold with you, they might even be rude to you. The reason for that behavior is because they're probably going to be afraid that you're not going to give them their money back, or if you do, it's going to be a convoluted process, because that's probably what they've experienced with other people before. The first thing we must do is to reassure them that isn't the case, and if they want to cancel, it's really, really easy, and then we're going to try and talk them out of it. So I put here, firstly, we're super sorry to hear that you want them to leave, and if that's what you decide to do, then the process is really simple, and we can cancel your direct debit straight away. So that's all they need to hear now. Now it's going to be our goal to prevent them from leaving. So I'm just going to confirm the details with them. And then so I can say, oh, I can see you've been here since the 14th of May. So how long is that? So you've been just over a month. So what we could say is something like, well, typically it takes sort of like 8 weeks before they really settle in or to get to the end of the first block. So you've got a bit of information here. But I want to know why they want to leave. So it might be that they are upset when we go to Mini Kicks or whatever it is. So I'm just going to record why they're wanting to leave. Then I put a little script in. Look, it's our policy is that we must first inform the child's coach, and they will then call you to go through a couple of things with you and to remove you from the register if that's what you want to do. We hope that you choose to stay, but we completely respect your wishes either way. So personally, I would try and get them to stay. Now, the dream option is that they're saved. So if we save them, we don't even need to let the coach know. So if we've managed to save them, fantastic. We just click that and through they go. If we might stay, we can now, one second, Scarlett. So if they might stay, we're going to now get the franchisee to call them. That's the easiest thing to do. Let the franchisee sell it to them. We don't have to do that. But even if they say, look, I think I want to go, look, it's no problem, but we must get the franchisee to call you first. Is that okay? Brilliant. So now we click the might stay button. If they're lost, if they're like, look, I hate it, he hates it, I want out, you just press the lost and you don't need to worry about it. It will manage the process for you. But let's say they might stay. You might want to put a little note to the franchisee as well if you're going to be able to get them to stay. So you could put, let's have a look. What would you put here? Uh, they said money was an issue, or let's have a think something better. They said that the time slot was wrong or something like that. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is press save. That's going to now, I'm going to show you what's happening in the there was an error. Oh, I didn't put how it first came in. So I'm going to put it came in via an email. Sorry, there we go. There we go, gone through now. Now, again, I'm going to show you what's happening in the campaign, but it's not that it really matters. You don't need to know. So I'm just going to update that. So I've now passed through this internal form. If they were lost, they would just go through this top part and we just cancel them off. That's fine. If they were saved, then they would go through a different process. But what we're happening here is this is the most likely one and the one that we want to push for. So they're now in here. What will have happened is they will have now had an email from us saying, sorry you want to leave. We'd like to thank you for bringing Scarlett to Mini Kicks in the first place. We're sorry to hear that you wanted to leave, but if you decide that's what you want to do, it's dead easy to cancel it all off. Apologies to get the child's coach to ring you, to remove you from the register. We hope that you choose to stay, but we respect your wishes either way. So that's the email they've just had. What's also happened now is we've also sent an email off to the franchisee saying, bad news, this person wants to leave. This is the class they're in. It's now your job to save them. We've spoken to them and we've told them you'll be calling them within 24 hours. This is why they said they wanted to leave. Here are the details. They've been with us since this point. Here are some things you could try and get them to do. Move to a different class, give them some more attention, give them the monkey to take home, etc. What next? Once you've done this, call our office and let us know what the outcome is. Hope you managed to save them, and that's it. So now they've had that email to do that. If after a day they haven't told them, they haven't rang us back, we send them another email saying you must call them right now, and we also raise a task for us on the dashboard. So if I just come through to the dashboard here, what would happen is where it says remind the franchisee to call them, that number would change to 1, and we would then ring that franchisee up and say, hey, look, you must ring this person today, and we're going to kick their ass over that. But what's happened now is we're hoping that the franchisee is going to ring. We've called to save them, so that's done. And now we've got to recall the outcome of the franchisee's call. So I can't actually do anything with this number until the franchisee rings me up. But the moment they ring me up, this is all ready. So basically, the franchisee rings up and says, right, I want to tell you what's happened with that child that wants to cancel. Perfect. Let me just come in here. I'm going to record the outcome of the franchisee's call. So it's Scarlett Ashford. Yeah, brilliant. Just press this. Outcome of the franchisee's phone call form. So they tell me what's going to happen. So it might be that we're going to change the class to a different class time, or it might be that we're going to change it to a different day, to Friday, Sunday class. Reason wanting to leave, we've already got that in there. And so let's say they've managed to save them. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to click save. Private note to the coach this week. So I could say something like, I'm just going to delete that and put let them take the monkey home this week. They thought about leaving, let's say. They thought about leaving. So this will be added to the register this week so that they can see what's going on as well, which is really cool. So we're going to click save. Come back to the campaign. Why do I keep going to that one? Let's come back to here. And to show you the performance, what's going to happen now, they'll have moved through. Command. 2 seconds. So in there, they should be passing through. Ah, right. Sorry. This was where they were, wasn't it? They're now in here. They've been saved. Sorry, that's right. So they were here before, they might stay. We've had the outcome here. So we either lost them at that point or they've come down to be saved. Perfect. So what's happened now is great news. See you on Sunday. Hey, Jimmy. It's great that you've chosen for Scarlett to stay at the Mini Kicks family. Here's a reminder of your child's session details. You at Keep Mo on a Sunday between 9:50 and 10:30 because obviously we've had a change there. We look forward to welcoming you and Scarlett back. See you on Sunday. So that's it. So now what's going to happen is, so little Scarlett's going to be turning up on Sunday. That's cool. But now they're sat in this part of the campaign. So if I go back to the dashboard, everything should be set back to 0 now because all's cool. There you go. Everything's back to 0. Now what's going to happen is on, where is it? Uh, in 5 days' time, what will happen is we'll raise another task for you to now ring Scarlett back. So we've got a follow-up phone call. So you're going to ring Jimmy back and say, how did Scarlett find it? Because we just want to make sure that everything's cool. So we're just going to sign it off because they might have come back and they think, you know what, I still hate it. And we don't want to piss them off. So what that will then do is it'll move them through to this final form here where you ring them up. Let's bring the form up and show you. You ring them up with this form here, and that's gonna be where they tell us what they actually finally want to do, and that's when it's all done here. So let me just move them on in that process so you can see what's going to happen. Um, is this amazing, guys? Are you thinking this is exciting or what? Because I do. So let's have a look. We're going to apply a tag follow up. Save the child. Save needs to be followed up. So we'll apply a tag follow up with this child. Now what should happen if I refresh this? There we go. Follow up with this child. So we now got a follow up call with them. So we know that they rang up wanting to leave. So now we're going to ring them up and just make sure that everything's cool with them. Again, this form will have changed. We click on this link. How amazing is that? Follow up form. So make sure they've had a great time and they're 100% happy with everything. So hopefully everything's going to be cool. But if not, you know, we may have lost them. I'm so sorry. We're going to click lost at this point. Let's say, for example, hope if we click save, they just come out the campaign and we're done. If we click lost, I'm going to click that just to show you what's going to happen. Come back to here, press refresh. They have now gone up here into the lost queue. And what's happened here, if I go back to the dashboard, bear with me, is, okay, that should be back to 0. I'll get that removed, or that should come off soon. Yeah, okay, I'll make sure that comes off because we've followed up with the child. The final one is to remove from the system. So now that we've done everything we can, but they now want to be removed from the system. So we come into here, and we don't really have to do much with this form, basically. This is just to make sure that we complete the key actions below. And the main action, I don't know if there's anything else, but it's just that we've cancelled the direct debit. That's all we need to do. Leave all this information as it is, because if they ever ring us up and want to sign up again, well, at least we've got all the details, because we can see what class they're in before. So all I'm going to click here is direct debit has been cancelled and click save. That's all you need to do. And at this point, what's going to happen is they're now into cancel, need to inform everyone. The parent gets an email. Wait a second. Okay, while that parent email's coming, the parent's going to get an email saying everything is done and we've signed it all off. The franchisee gets an email saying the child's gone. Quite a friendly one, just to let you know that the child is gone. We did everything we could to save them, onwards and upwards. Here we go, let's go. So it's just, that's it, it's done. But what this campaign does, it's also really neat. It pulls everything out of, it pulls them out of every other campaign they could be in, which is the 8-week cycle button, the register, and they could be in their first weeks as well. They could be in the first period. It pulls them out of all those campaigns. Everything stops, and it also takes off them the fact that they're enrolled, they're newly enrolled tags. It strips them of all the tags they need, so everything is now done. What we need to do at some point is enter them into like a long-term nurturing campaign, but that's cool. We don't need to worry about that. So let me just see if my emails come. Thank you, all sorted. Hey Jimmy, just want to thank you again for bringing Scarlet to Mini Kicks and for giving us a whirl. We're sorry we haven't done enough to be able to keep you. Just to let you know, we've now removed you from the register and cancelled your direct debit payments. If you've got any questions, you'll ever like to come back, please give us a call. Scott will always be welcome. Wish you both the very best for the future. Cheers, Mini Kicks. So just a really friendly email that goes out, trying to keep them upbeat because they might come back at some point in the future, you know, so we don't want to burn any bridges with them. And then they're dragged through the campaign. So that's it. Very solid campaign. And all you guys need to know is that it's all managed for you with the dashboard. The only alternative is that somebody's rang up to start with. So somebody rings up. That's the only other way that people could enter this process. And the only slight variation that you need to be aware of there is, so let's say somebody's rang up. So let's say it's Scarlett. We've gone in and we've searched for them. At this point, we just need to go and find the internal form. So it's an internal process here. It's 50 internal, and save the child form, start here. So this is from a phone call. You just click start here. Again, in your procedures folder, I've put this for you. So what happens from a phone call, you just need to go and fill this form out. So all you need to do is fill out the internal form. And again, you're just faced with the exact same process. Obviously, in fact, I can change this for you because we know they've come via a phone call, so I'll remove that for you. So again, exactly the same script, exactly the same outcome that you might do. They might stay, they've lost, or we've saved them. You just do that, and they will be entered into the process, and everything else will be the same. So the only thing is obviously you don't have to make that initial call because they've rang you. So rather than us going up to here where we need to speak to the parents, because we've done that part of the process because they've rang us and initiated it, we're just starting off a little bit further down the line. This is a really solid campaign to give you complete confidence and peace of mind in the process. Hope you enjoy using that one.